please forgive me.
Are we having fun yet?
I gotta be honest. Guys, I'm looking at where we are right now in the West, and I have to say, unfortunately, I am starting to become Team Tank. I am Team Tank. I never thought I would get to this point. I always thought that I could be someone that's 100% optimist and think about, the playoff. There's no way. There's no absolute way. I'm looking at the Lakers right now, right? A team that looks like absolute garbage every time I see them play. They're 8-8 and they're in the 9th spot, okay? They're in the 9th spot. A team that has not been clicking on any cylinders whatsoever is at the 9th spot. There's no way we'll be able to scrape in and get into the playoffs. So with that being said, I'm thinking about the greater good for our team at this point. So looking at our roster, I do believe that we'll get better once Zach Collins is healthy. I think that we'll have a little bit more depth. But honestly, I have to say I agree with what the Spurs are doing right now. Because with this team, there's no way a lot of these players stay. I'm not going to start to speculate who I think gets traded or who I think stays. But let's just be completely real here. This is a tryout season. And I have to say they're failing. Now, some players, I would just say this. Devin Vassell is very young. He's going to have on and off nights. I don't think the Spurs are going to focus on that. But I do think that the Spurs are thinking, look, Josh Primo's set in stone. Joe Weezy's set in stone. They're going to do their thing in the G League, allow them to get some reps versus very good talent, and allow them to grow in their own regard. Allow them to develop a relationship. Try to see what Joshua Primo is doing as far as his leadership. But when you look at someone like DeJounte Murray, he is the leader of the Spurs right now. What Josh Primo is doing in the G League, there's no way he'll be able to do it in the regular season when you're continuously trying to see what you have with this team. If you're trying to see, are we going to keep Lonnie Walker? Is Derek White going to step up? Even with DeJounte Murray, it's like DeJounte Murray is doing great, but could we do something for the greater good for the team? Keldon Johnson as well. So right now, I think we're really in a position where we have a competitive team. They like to compete. They play hard. They really do. But the talent is just not here. And I'm not saying that Josh Primo comes in and he saves the day. He becomes a superstar right off the bat. No, not by any means. Like, I made a lot of videos about Josh Primo. Or could he be the next this? Could he be the next that? And I genuinely do mean that. I can be a little hyperbolic, but I genuinely do mean that. But you got to also contextualize what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, can he become that? Not that he is that right now, or that he will be that in the next season or two. Just that he has certain mentality and certain aura about him where he can be pretty great. But right now, what I'm seeing from the team, there's no way they'll be able to win games. Like, there's absolutely no way. Every single time someone does something well, yes, say DeJounte Murray has a game, he put up 40 points. The Spurs will find a way to lose. Not because they're losers, but just because they're just not clicking well and the talent isn't necessarily there. So they're going to make certain mistakes that they shouldn't make. Like, I'm still seeing mistakes from Lonnie. I'm still seeing mistakes, from Keldon Johnson. I'm seeing mistakes. Derek White is not the player that he was before offensively. Defensively, he's still doing a pretty good job. But offensively, he is not Derek White. So right now, we're kind of a shell of ourselves. And I think the Spurs need to just figure out what we got, go up to, before the trade deadline, and see what we can get to go ahead and build our future. That's my thoughts on it. But right now, look, there's no way. And if I'm going to be stuck between us potentially being an 8th seed and getting a bad draft pick and us just saying, screw it, just play our best, but not necessarily improve the team right now. And that's one thing that I'm starting to see from fans, is that people are starting to say, yes, go get this player. Let's get this player right now. Let's go ahead and trade this player. I'm like, chill. How about we just keep allowing this to go on how it's going? And if you think that there's players that we should keep, you keep them. If not, build for the future. Get some picks. But anything right now that would make us way better right now, I don't think it's necessary. The only reason you would do that is if you are like a Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's on the cusp of being able to win another championship if they have the right pieces, right? So like the Lakers, it would make sense for them to try to make another trade at some point to bring in another player and try to win. But the San Antonio Spurs, no matter who we bring in right now, with how our roster's constructed, we're not going to be successful. This is going to keep up. I don't know when I've seen the Spurs percentage at 27%. This is actually just a little fun fact. It's not fun at all. This is actually the worst beginning for the San Antonio Spurs since 1996. Yeah. And after that season, they got Tim Duncan. So look, do what you got to do. Popovich has been through this before. He knows how the process is when you don't have talent. Luckily, our team is trying. They are fighting. So at the very least, it's not one of those situations where the coach lost the team by any means. It's not one of those. It's just they're just not good enough. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you team tank, or are you still kind of holding on to a little bit of hope? But yeah, just let me know. I'm so sorry, guys. I want to be optimistic. I really do. I want to be that person, but I just can't at this point. So I'll get with you guys later. If you want to support the channel, as always, $2 a month, link in the description. Get with you later, man. Deuces.